So where were we with this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef?
They not like us. They not like us.
Oh yeah, Kendrick had everyone yelling, "They not like us." Game jumped into the beef to defend Drake from Rick Ross of all people, and a shooting occurred at Drake's house in Canada. That video detailing things from the very start of their relationship became one of my most viewed videos till this day. And in this one, I'm going to go through the things that happened in the beef since then, like more subliminal shots from both sides, and the infamous Drake lawsuit against UMG. Let's get right into it. In the beginning of June 2024, Drake deleted all the posts related to the beef from his Instagram page. This could be seen as Drake tapping out of the beef like many said he did on The Heart Part 6, or maybe he had something else in mind, but either way, he took that stuff right off. Also early in June, Kendrick Lamar announced a show that was going to be taking place at the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California on June 19th, which in the United States of America is a holiday named Juneteenth. It's the commemoration of the abolishment of slavery in the USA, as Texas was the last state to do so, and that was on June 19th, 1865. It officially became a federal holiday in 2021. The concert, which was titled The Pop-Out, Ken and Friends, was generally considered another shot at Drake and a show of unity for the West Coast, as many California artists, LA in particular, made an appearance, and some, like Tyler the Creator and YG, performed. Many celebrities made an appearance, including those who were feuding with Drake like Rick Ross and The Weeknd. NBA players like LeBron James and Russell Westbrook were at the show as well, which didn't sit right with Drake, as some of these people he considered friends of his and didn't take kindly to them popping up at the pop-out. We're definitely going to be getting into that a little bit later though. The concert was broken up into 3 acts, with the first one being by DJ Head, the second by DJ Mustard, and the third being by Kendrick, each with guest performers. For Kendrick, he performed pretty much every diss track that he has towards Drake, among other songs, and then wrapped up by playing Not Like Us multiple times. Then on the 4th of July, yet another holiday, Kendrick put out the music video for Not Like Us, which is full of more shots at Drake and OVO. There's a scene with Kendrick smashing an owl piñata, and in another scene he's standing in front of a cage with an owl in it. OVO is known for using an owl as part of their logo, so it's quite a clear reference. In yet another scene, Kendrick is seen doing push-ups, which is a reference to Drake's push-ups track. On top of that, there's a scene with Kendrick, Whitney, and their kids together, which would be a response to Drake's lines about their relationship and the kids. Also, the video is credited as being directed by Kendrick and Dave Free, which is refuting the accusations from Drake on Family Matters and The Heart Part 6. This video released on what is considered Independence Day here in the United States, and the pop-out show being on Juneteenth, which is considered African American Independence Day, was yet another shot at Drake, as Drake isn't born in the USA. Later that month, Schoolboy Q was on his Blue Lips tour and was scheduled to perform at History, a venue located in Toronto that was opened in collaboration between Live Nation Entertainment and Drake in 2021. Schoolboy announced that the show, despite being sold out, was cancelled and claimed it was due to Kendrick and Drake's beef. Later that month, DJ Scheme played Not Like Us when he was doing an opening set for Ski Mask the Stump God at that same venue. TDE artist Sir, like Schoolboy, also had his show at History cancelled. Once again, due to being on TDE like Kendrick used to be. On August 2nd, A$AP Rocky released the single Hijack, on which he appears to take shots at Drake. As a quick reminder, Rocky is involved as Drake dissed him multiple times, and he dissed Drake back on the Metro and Future album We Don't Trust You. On his verse he has the lines, "Don't compare that pussy boy to me, feeling like I'm Sosa, Chiefy Keef, tired of them niggas sleeping on me, I don't like naps, niggas fuck around and stole the flow and y'all like that?" One thing Drake is known for is copying the flow of other artists, so this would appear to be aimed at him. Also, throughout the song, Rocky uses the phrase "like that" multiple times, which of course is the name of the song featuring Kendrick Lamar from the Metro Boomin and Future album We Don't Trust You, on which Kendrick dissed Drake. Then early in September, it was announced that Kendrick Lamar would be headlining the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. Shortly afterwards, on the 11th, Kendrick released an untitled song which was given the name Watch the Party Die by listeners. Throughout the song, he takes aim at the entertainment industry in general, it seems, but he also appears to take another shot at Drake as well. He also appears to take shots at DJ Academics also, who is well known for being a heavy Drake fan and defender. For example, on the first verse, he has the lines, "Just walk that man down, that'll do everyone a solid. It's love, but tough love sometimes gotta result in violence." That man in this context would seem to be Drake. Then on October 10th, J. Cole released the track Port Antonio, which wasn't a diss, but he did make mention of the Drake and Kendrick beef. On the second verse, he has the lines, "They say I'm picking sides, ayy, don't you lie on me, my nigga, then start another war, ayy, Drake, you'll always be my nigga, I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my nigga, fuck all the narratives." People would claim that Cole was picking sides because he dissed Kendrick on 7 Minute Drill, but Cole also made an appearance on the song Red Leather from Future and Metro Boomin's album We Still Don't Trust You, which was released in April that year. That was the same month he released Might Delete Later, which featured 7 Minute Drill. Considering the beef going on between the artists involved, it would make sense for people to question what Cole would do. In November, the Grammy nominations were announced, and as expected, Not Like Us was nominated for multiple Grammys. Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Music Video, Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Performance. I'll be going over the results of those nominations soon. On November 22nd, Kendrick released the album GNX, which is named after the Buick Grand National, and the cover features him posing by the car. On the opening track, Whacked Out Murals, Kendrick appears to make multiple mentions of the beef and the situations around it. On the first verse, he has the lines, "It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural, fuck everybody, that's on my body." He then goes on to reference Drake's mentor Lil Wayne with the lines, "Used to bump the Carter 3, I held my rolly chain proud, irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down." The Super Bowl was going to be taking place in New Orleans, which is where Wayne is from. Some people felt like Wayne should have been picked since he's from New Orleans, which wasn't very likely as this was the 4th time since Wayne became a rapper that it was held in New Orleans, and 11th time overall since the inception of the Super Bowl. Some people like Nicki Minaj, for example, felt like Wayne was overlooked because of Jay-Z, who has been involved with the Super Bowl halftime performance, having some kind of issue with Cash Money Young Money. Kendrick then goes on to reference Snoop Dogg and Nas with the lines, "Snoop posted Tailor Made, I prayed it was the edibles, I couldn't believe it, it was only right for me to let it go. Won the Super Bowl and Nas the only one congratulate me. All these niggas agitated, I'm just glad they showing their faces." When Drake had released Tailor Made Freestyle, Snoop reposted it, but then wound up deleting it after realizing that it was a diss to Kendrick. The Nas line is a callback to how he congratulated Kendrick on Instagram for being picked to do the Super Bowl halftime show. Then he starts his third verse making a subliminal reference to Drake with the lines, "Niggas from my city couldn't entertain old boy, promising bank transactions and even Bitcoin. I'll never piece it up, that shit don't sit well with me. Before I take a truce, I'll take him to hell with me." As Kendrick mentioned before, Drake had apparently been offering money to people for information on him. Kendrick seems to have taken subliminal shots at Drake as well throughout the album. For example, on the first verse of the song Hey Now, he has the lines, "You know the last one figured he was Magneto. You play God, you gon' get what you ask for." Drake has had a tendency to call himself the Sixth God, and even has a song with that title, which would make this seem to be a shot at Drake. And remember, on the Push-Ups track, Drake was goading Kendrick into dropping, hence getting what he asked for. Further in the verse, Kendrick has the lines, 1 1000, 2 1004. The Black Noah, I just strangled me a goat. That can be seen as a double entendre, as GOAT is an acronym for greatest of all time, and of course Drake considered himself the greatest and probably still does. Then on the track TV Off, the title in itself is something that can be seen as a reference to Drake, but I'll be getting to that in a little bit. On November 24th, 2 days after the release of the album, Drake appeared on a Kick livestream with famous streamer XQC, and he seemed to make a reference to his beef with Kendrick, as he stated that it takes facts to take him out and fairy tales won't do it. That would clearly be a reference to all the diss tracks that were aimed at him earlier that year.
I'm Drake, this is XQC, real streaming legend. Me, I do music in case you didn't know. I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering, right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
Also on the live stream, he announced that he would be going back to touring Australia for the first time in 8 years.
I wanted to announce this before we even get into gambling.
Go ahead.
Because I'm excited. But February 9th, for anybody that's watching from Australia, I'm coming back to Australia the first time in 8 years. Coming back to Australia on tour. It's actually, funny enough, called the Anita Max Win Tour.
He also announced that the collaboration album with Party Next Door was about 75% done.
And then what else? Update, Party Next Door album. Me and Party's album, like 75% done. Shout out to PX, cooking right now. Album sounds incredible. Shout out to the Six, the whole city.
Both of those things I'm going to be mentioning a little later. Around this time, Drake would shock the hip-hop community by filing a petition against Universal Music Group and Spotify, accusing them of artificially inflating the streams and using payola to boost the reach of Not Like Us and hurt his career. UMG responded by denying the allegations. Shortly afterwards, Drake filed a second petition, this one against UMG and iHeartRadio regarding defamation and other accusations. This was met with mostly negative critiques from people, since suing over a rap beef is not part of the culture and proves Kendrick's point of Not Like Us. It's terribly ironic if you ask me. Instead of coming back with bars, he came back with legal action. The petition against UMG is a bit of a lengthy document, but I'm going to go over some of what I feel are key points here. The petitioner is named as Frozen Moments LLC, which is a company that was registered as an LLC in Florida by Drake in 2009, and he's released music on it, like the Best in the World pack back in 2019. I think it's interesting that he's releasing an album titled Iceman, and years earlier he formed a company named Frozen Moments. Some of the things mentioned in the petition are facts, like Spotify being the most popular audio streaming subscription service, and going over the numbers of active users and subscribers it has, as well as the nature of business they do with the record labels. In this case, how they pay companies like UMG for the right to license songs to be played on their platform. UMG in particular was one of the earliest supporters and entered into a multi-year global license agreement in 2020. Long story short, surprise, surprise, the streaming companies and record labels are in bed with one another to make money. In the petition, it is alleged that UMG charged Spotify less than their usual licensing rate in exchange for Spotify recommending Not Like Us more. Also, it's alleged that UMG hired people to use bots to inflate the streams and make Not Like Us seem more popular than it was, and also used bots to do the same for the music video. They also allege that radio stations were paid to play Not Like Us on the radio, which of course is called payola and it is illegal. They also claim to have whistleblowers that were involved in these transactions. There's plenty more in this lawsuit, but I think the funniest thing here is the allegation that when people asked Siri, Apple's virtual assistant, to play the Drake album Certified Lover Boy, Siri would instead play Not Like Us because it has the line, Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophile. The petition goes on further to mention things like the records that the song broke, such as the biggest single day streams of a hip hop song and the most streamed diss track in Spotify history, among other stats. There's even more to the petition, of course, but like I said, we're not going to go through the whole thing, so let's continue on. On December 20th, Spotify responded with opposition papers, which is yet another legal term, and I'm no lawyer, so to put it briefly, Spotify, like UMG, was denying the claims set forth by Drake and his legal team. Not that it's too surprising. Did anyone really expect some of the biggest companies in music to admit to fraudulent activity? Also on December 20th, SZA released the album Lana, which is a deluxe edition of her 2022 album SOS. On the album is the track 30 for 30 featuring Kendrick. Some people took Kendrick's feature to be a shot at Drake as well, as on his verse he has the lines, "You fucking with niggas that's thinking they cuter than you. Oh, say you on your cycle, but you on his period too. The table's been turning so much, I was thinking it's foosball, the tenderness of them, mistaking them for some wagyu, oh." Drake and SZA have both admitted that they dated briefly back when they were new artists. Given Drake and Kendrick's beef, those lines were seen as a subliminal shot at him. On January 3rd, a Drake track titled Fighting Irish Freestyle was leaked. On the first verse, he seems to make a reference to Kendrick's pop-out show with the lines, "The world fell in love with the gimmicks, even my brothers got tickets, seemed like they loved every minute, just know this shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business." As I mentioned earlier, people that Drake was cool with, like LeBron James, made an appearance at the pop-out show. Drake used to have a LeBron James tattoo on him, so yeah, that probably caused some hurt, and we'll get into that some more in a little bit. Throughout the rest of the track, he seems to make more references to LeBron, and the title itself is a reference to the team he played on in high school, the St. Vincent St. Mary Fighting Irish. Then on the 15th, Drake's attorneys withdrew the petition against UMG and Spotify about boosting Not Like Us streams. Later that day, however, he filed a lawsuit against them accusing them of defamation for putting out Not Like Us. Contrary to what some seem to believe, Kendrick was not directly sued by Drake at all. The lawsuit is included here as a part of the situation simply because it was made due to Not Like Us, which Universal was the distributor for. Ironically enough, Kendrick releasing Not Like Us on Interscope and Drake being signed to OVO and Republic means that Kendrick and Drake were both signed to divisions of UMG, which means Drake was technically suing his own label, not just Kendrick's. He also accused UMG of doing this to lessen his value when he renegotiates his deal with them. Also that month, Not Like Us reached 1 billion streams on Spotify. Then on February 2nd, the 67th Grammy Awards were held, and like I mentioned earlier, Kendrick was nominated for 5 Grammys for Not Like Us, and he won every single nomination. Just like Drake said in Family Matters, Kendrick just opened his mouth, someone go hand him a Grammy right now. This Grammy Award show is also probably where a lot of us learned what a Canadian tuxedo is, as Kendrick wore one to the show, which again seemed to be a shot at Drake. A Canadian tuxedo is apparently an outfit consisting of a denim jacket and jeans. Well, that's better than a Colombian necktie at least. For those that care about Grammy amounts, this brought Kendrick's total up to 22 while Drake was at 5. A week later was the Super Bowl, and yet another opportunity for Kendrick to take aim at Drake. During the halftime show, Samuel L. Jackson took the role of Uncle Sam, dressed in red, white, and blue. Kendrick performed a medley of songs including DNA, Humble, and more. SZA made an appearance to perform Luther and All the Stars with Kendrick as well. Women's tennis icon Serena Williams also made an appearance dancing, which was seen as a dig at Drake for him dissing her and her husband in the past. She also got some criticism because her older half-sister, Yetunde Price, was murdered by a Crip in 2003 in Compton. Compton rapper Game dedicated his single, Dreams, to her from his documentary album. This Serena Williams appearance is relevant again, as remember Drake had that whole beef with Common over Serena. I covered that before on the channel, so make sure to check that one out to see Drake get handled in yet another rap beef. Speaking of getting handled, How do you handle supporting your favorite YouTubers? You can support all the work I do here by doing things like subscribing to the channel, sharing the videos with your friends and family, and of course, you're more than welcome to become a Patreon member or YouTube channel member. One of the things I've mentioned recently is as a Patreon member, you can get regular updates on what I'm working on, among other things. It's like being part of an exclusive club, but you can join straight from your computer or phone. So click those links below to check everything out, and let's get back to Kendrick and Drake. While performing Peekaboo, Kendrick teased Not Like Us by mentioning that he wants to perform it, but they might sue, which was a reference to the lawsuit Drake has with UMG.
Ladies, yes, Dad.
I want to make a move.
For sure.
I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue.
What song?
Yeah, that song.
A few minutes later, he starts Not Like Us, and when he gets to the line that directly mentions Drake's name, he smiles right at the camera, which once again tells you that he was really having some fun messing with Drake still. He also was wearing a chain with a lowercase a on it, which is a reference to his label, PG Lang, but also a reference to the A minor line in Not Like Us. After he finished performing Not Like Us, DJ Mustard comes out and he does TV Off. Like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the GNX album, this song was gonna be relevant too. To wrap up the performance, he does the chorus of TV Off and does a gesture for pressing a button on a remote control. This right here, I believe, is a huge shot at Drake yet again. Imagine if Drake was actually watching the halftime performance, despite it being Kendrick, and then Kendrick says, "Turn his TV off." Now the question is, did Kendrick name the song and write the chorus specifically for this purpose, or was it more so a coincidence? Either way, yet another shot at Drake, and we're going to keep it pushing. A few days after the Super Bowl, on Valentine's Day, Drake and Party Next Door released the album, Some Sexy Songs for You. On the song Gimme a Hug, he makes more references to the beef of Kendrick. On the first verse, he has the lines, "Funny how it's only bitch niggas that are waiting on the boy's obituary, cause if I die, it's these niggas that become the sole beneficiary, and what the fuck are they gonna do with it? Have the girls up at 22 on stage twerking with a dictionary?" That's a reference, of course, to Drake's career getting killed due to the rap beef, and also how Kendrick's music just wouldn't work in strip clubs. On the second verse, he commends 21 Savage for being a real friend and sends a shot at Joe Budden, who he was also beefing with. Once again, that's yet another beef I've covered on the channel before, and you can check that out with the link in the description. Then he goes on to diss Kendrick again with the lines, "They be dropping shit, but we be dropping harder shit. Fuck a rap beef, I'm trying to get the party lit." Pretty self-explanatory. Drake is trying to get the party lit rather than being rap beef, which once again proves Kendrick's point. Also remember, Kendrick had recently released a song that people were calling Watch the Party Die. Also in February, while Drake was on tour in Australia, he showed up to a show with a hoodie on that had fake bullet holes and steam coming off of it as a reference of him surviving the shots from Kendrick. Then on March 17th, an update occurred with the lawsuit. UMG filed a motion to dismiss it, accusing Drake of trying to save face after the rap beef of Kendrick. The following is a quote from the UMG side. "Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. As I said earlier, Drake goaded Kendrick into dropping a diss track, but it seems like he just didn't expect Kendrick to go this hard perhaps. So as much as I'm not one to take the side of these huge corporations, it's not as if they were lying here. UMG's defense is essentially that Drake willingly participated in the rap beef by putting out his own diss tracks, which were also distributed by UMG, and that Drake's just upset that he lost. If UMG could get this lawsuit dismissed, it would be a win for them and further cement Kendrick as the winner in the public eye, considering it's his diss track that Drake is suing the company over. The two continued to go back and forth, with UMG wanting the judge to dismiss the motion for discovery, as Drake's team wanted to see documents including Kendrick's contract and the pay structure of the label chairman and CEO John Janik, among other things. Drake's team would state that UMG is trying to delay having to show these documents because they'd rather keep them hidden. That next month, things continued on, as on the 16th of April, Drake's legal team amended the lawsuit to include the Super Bowl halftime show and how him performing Not Like Us was clearly defamation because the Super Bowl and other corporations would not allow him to perform the song unless he censored the word pedophile in his line, "Certified lover boy, certified pedophile." Done with this lawsuit for now, back to the music. On June 12th, while performing at the Rogers Center in Toronto as part of the Grand National Tour, Kendrick performed Not Like Us. The audience seemed to love it, which was not a good look for Drake, who talks about how he runs the city and all that. On the 5th of July, Drake released the track What Did I Miss?, which is the first single leading up to his Iceman album. The chorus is essentially aimed at his so-called friends that also support Kendrick, like the people who showed up to the pop-out show. It's shown with the lines, asking me how did it feel, can't say it didn't surprise me, last time I looked to my right, you niggas was standing beside me, how can some people I love hang around pussies who try me? Then on the first verse, he refuses to help these people anymore with the lines, you niggas just better not ask for no favors. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's love for my brothers and death to a traitor. Let's go. So clearly Drake is hurt over the whole situation, and to be fair, I don't blame him. He did help out a lot of people by doing all those features, which likely did help further his career too, however, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship at times. This has been a common theme for Drake since Push-Ups, as remember he started off the first verse on that song with the lines, I could never be nobody #1 fan, your first #1 I had to put it in your hand. Future's first #1 song was Way Too Sexy from Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy. Then on the second verse, he talks some more about fake friends with the lines, I'm back in your city tonight, walking around with my head high. I saw bro went to pop out with them, but been dick riding gang since headlines. It feels like nobody's there until you start giving out two tones, and nobody cares until they're in front of your tombstone. Headlines is the second single from Drake's Take Care album released in 2011, so whoever he's referring to with these lines has been riding him since then. Pause. So yeah, Drake is hurt, and honestly, this is the kind of stuff I'd rather hear than the tough guy bars. I respect the transparency, and personally, it's more relatable to myself than when he just brags about his fame and fortune. Then on July 12th, which was the second day of the Wireless Festival held in London, England, Drake was performing as he was the headliner, and while he was talking to the crowd, they broke out into an F Kendrick chant, in which Drake responded by asking Chubbs for a drink so he can toast to that.
I want to let you know, this is the best opportunity I've ever been given. 3 nights in a row, 3 nights headlining, 3 different sets, 3 different vibes. You name another artist that can do it and bring him up here, we can clash right now. Anybody? That's what I'm here for. I'm here for y'all tonight. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck Kendrick! Fuck Kendrick! Fuck Kendrick! Just fuck Kendrick! 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 Matter of fact, you know what? Chubbs, grab me a shot, I'll drink to that.
Very petty, but kind of funny, as someone actually did bring him a cup of something. Also around this time, it was reported that Drake got his LeBron tattoo covered up, which goes back to the things he said on Fighting Irish Freestyle and What Did I Miss? On July 25th, Drake released the song Which One featuring Central C, which is also slated to appear on his Iceman album. Then on September 9th, he released the song Doghouse featuring Yeat and Julia Wolf as the third single from the album. A month later, on October 9th, it was announced that a federal judge dismissed Drake's defamation lawsuit against UMG. The lawsuit still isn't done, but hold on just a minute before we get to the most recent update on that. On October 15th, Vlad TV released a clip from an interview with DJ Academics in which they talked about how Academics said he advised Drake not to put out any diss tracks against Kendrick anymore and to just sneak diss him now, but to stop rap beefing overall because Drake has nothing to gain from it. Then on October 29th, the lawsuit back and forth continued some more. Drake's legal team announced their intention to appeal the decision. Earlier that month, the judge had decided that Not Like Us was not defamation and instead was a non-actionable opinion. Once again, I'm not a lawyer, but essentially defamation is a lie that is presented as factual and can harm the person it's about, while a non-actionable opinion is an opinion as it says in the phrase. There's more to it, of course, however, like the context in which it is said and the way that it's specifically phrased. Ultimately, it's up to the courts to decide which is which, and in this case, they sided with UMG, who once again are the ones being sued and not Kendrick because they're the ones who distributed the song and didn't block it or anything. Then in December, 21 Savage made an appearance on the Big Facts Network and talked about a variety of things like his new album, and was also asked by Big Bank about his relationship with Drake. Savage would state that his relationship with Drake is good, and so is his relationship with Metro Boomin, and that he tried to get Drake and Metro to make amends, but it hasn't happened yet.
I see Drake shot you on a song like you based on a nigga that be tapping in with him.
Right.
How you keep that relationship like that instead of getting on, getting at the table?
I don't never think I ain't never really been at no table, man.
I'm just asking, bro. I'm just asking, like, you know how, like...
I fuck with Drake. Me and Drake it's just the relationship keep itself, just like me and Metro.
So did you
I tried to get them together.
What happened?
Long before all this shit happened.
What happened?
You know, some niggas just... Metro felt how he felt. Metro felt a certain type of way about something. Drake told me and Metro that he understood where he was wrong and he apologized multiple times. But I feel like Metro just felt how he felt. But I feel like now Metro is kind of more open-minded.
He would then go on to speak about Drake's beef with Kendrick, saying that he told Drake that he should have just left it alone as Drake is the #1 streamed artist and already at the top, so there's no way for him to really win anyway since he can't go any higher.
Do I think he took a hit?
Yeah.
Nah. He's still the #1 streamed nigga this year.
Yeah.
I feel like he took an internet hit. But then it'd be like, damn, did you take an internet hit? Because streaming, you got to go on the internet to stream. And I'm still the #1 nigga streaming.
Yeah.
I feel like to certain people, they might say he took a hit, but I don't look at that shit like that. I don't know. I told that nigga not to even do all that shit anyway. Told that nigga leave that shit alone. But goddamn, he felt like he was being challenged lyrically, so he wanted to respond. And people chose who they. You know what I told Drake? He called me one of them days, so I called him. I think this was after the first song, the song with Metro them. And I said, goddamn. I said, you finna go into a battle that you can't win. Like, there's no way you can win.
What you mean?
When you, no matter what, bro, certain situations, even if you win, you still don't win. Like, the what he would have got if people would have quote unquote say he won, because I don't really look at like who won or who lost if nigga I'm still being streamed the most. Like, so, but people say like, oh, Kendrick won. Kendrick a good ass rapper though. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And some of his songs was hard.
Yeah. But
goddamn, Drake, I like Drake songs too. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like the only difference is when you're at the top, when you the #1 nigga, where does winning put you?
Yeah.
You can't go like number 1.1. So how the fuck could you win anyway?
Drake's team and UMG's team were due to have a mediation session on December 19th, but it was delayed to January 8th. So yeah, as of right now, that's what's been up with Kendrick and Drake's beef since the first video. As of yet, the two are at odds, which isn't surprising at all, and the lawsuit is still in the works. I wanted to make an update on their feud because it was still even going on while I was working on the previous video, and it's still something that has been talked about since then with all the subliminal shots from the two and the lawsuits. What do you think about Drake and Kendrick? Do you think they'll ever make amends? What do you think will come from Drake's appeal? You let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.